projects in Gabon. Our next speaker is Mr. Joe Arithi, Managing Director and CEO of Genmin Limited. Mr. Arithi is an experienced company director and mining executive with over 30 years' experience in technical, management and executive roles, including developing and managing financing mining projects in Australia, Indonesia, PNG and West Africa. He was a founding director of African Iron, an entity developing iron ore assets in the Republic of Congo until March 2012, at which time it was taken over by Exxaro Resources. He was also historically a director of the Australian iron ore producer Territory Resources when it was taken over by Hong Kong-based commodities trading company Noble Group. Please welcome Mr. Arithi.
I'm not going to be brave enough to try and deliver the address in French. I take my hat off to the Minister having done it in English. I am, however, under instruction that the sessions have run behind time, and if I could be expedient, which I'll endeavour to be. So, to kick off, Minister Osinji, all delegates from the Gabon Ministry of Mines and our electricity partner, Société du Patrimoine, ladies and gentlemen, as you will have gathered from the Minister's presentation, Genmin is one of a number of Australian companies that have mineral assets in Gabon. Genmin is an ASX-listed company with a market capitalisation of approximately $100 million. ASX code GEN, and if you're interested in buying some shares, our broker Stuart Foster is in the middle of the auditorium, and I understand he's got a wireless credit card processor. So we're headquartered here in Perth, and we were granted our first exploration licence in Gabon in 2012. In fact, September 2012, so 10 years almost to the day. That first licence is now our Baniaka iron ore project. In Gabon, currently, commercial mining is really around manganese and some gold. Historically, there's been uranium mining as well. In partnership with Arithi and Orano, but there is no iron ore mining. We expect to pioneer iron ore mining in Gabon. Our flagship Baniaka iron ore project, located in the southeast of Gabon, near the provincial capital of Franceville, has a JORC mineral resource of 700 million tonnes and is currently subject to feasibility assessment and a social and environmental impact assessment for an initial 5 million tonne per annum mining operation. We expect to announce our preliminary feasibility study results at the end of September and have completed and to have completed the SEIA at the end of this year. As can be seen from the photo on the first slide, our iron ore occurs at surface as free dig unconsolidated gravels, and following extensive pilot plant metallurgical test work, we expect to produce high-grade hematite, lump, fines and pellet feed. We will pivot project development through existing logistics infrastructure and clean renewable hydropower, enabling us to differentiate ourselves in the market not only as high-grade hematite, but also as a provider of greener iron ore. The quality of the Baniaka asset has enabled us to engage with Anglo American, a global diversified miner, in respect of partnering for potential project funding and offtake. Anglo American is capitalised at Great Britain pounds, so in pounds sterling, 38 billion, and has a 70 million tonne per annum iron ore business inside the organisation. We've heard a lot about Gabon. The way I would characterise Gabon is a Tier 1 African investment destination. It has enjoyed political and economic stability since the independence in 1960. Stability goes to prosperity. In June this year, it successfully became the 55th member of the Commonwealth. The eligibility criteria of becoming a member of the Commonwealth, amongst other things, requires the applicant country demonstrate commitment to democracy, the rule of law, independence of the judiciary, good governance, protection of human rights, and equality of opportunity. Gabon is also a signatory to the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, which requires countries publicly disclose information along the extractive industry value chain, how extraction rights are awarded, how revenues make their way through government, and how they benefit the public. Gabon has a dedicated Minister of Mines, Mr. Sinji, and separates state participation right from mining projects into an independent company. This allows the mining administration to remain an independent regulator and not a potentially conflicted regulator and owner of mining projects. It's a very important separation. These examples, and there are many others, highlight Gabon's internal governance processes, which help it be defined as a Tier 1 African investment destination. Mining activity is regulated through a mining code with underlying implementing regulations. The code provides for the state to have a 10% participation right at exploitation, and for production royalties to be balanced against the income tax rate. The range of possible royalties, and it really depends on the tax rate that you select, is between 5 and 10%, and that compares favourably with 7.5% for iron ore in this state. Now, for us, ESG is part of our identity. Environment, social and governance are more than a compliance tick box for Genmin. It's part of our identity. Our values, which include equitable and transparency, define our respect of people, culture and environment, and that we work with honesty and integrity. We're a signature to Digby ESG, which provides independent, transparent reporting and ratings of ESG performance. Our first ESG rating is expected to be published in mid-2023, and Digby ratings vary from A to CCC. And I don't need to tell you, CCC is probably not a good rating. Notwithstanding the availability of clean, renewable electricity at Baniaka, we will strive to be efficient in the use of electricity and separately forest and water resources. So in southeast Gabon, Genmin holds 2 projects, Baniaka and Bakumba, comprising 4 exploration licences for a total land holding of 2,500 square kilometres. Through a process of airborne magnetics, LiDAR, high-resolution ground magnetics and some 30 kilometres of diamond, reverse circulation and auger drilling, we have defined a mineralised system with approximately 120 kilometres of strike. And if we just dwell on that for a moment, for those of you in the room who are from Perth, the return trip to Rottnest is about 40 kilometres, Rottnest Island. So we're talking about a strike which is equal to 3 return trips to Rottnest Island. Only 13% of the strike has been drill tested, and yet we've defined a JORC mineral resource of 700 million tonnes. It's not hard to follow our narrative that Baniaka, in the broad sense, has the potential to be a province-scale iron ore hub in the southeast of Gabon. In delivering Gabon iron ore to world markets, we plan to follow a low-risk execution strategy, an initial 5 million tonnes of iron ore export operation, and then scaling to 10 million tonnes. We are expecting an increasing demand for pellets in the iron ore market through decarbonisation initiatives. Consequently, our plan is to produce a slightly coarser fines and cut out a pellet feed fraction. Our future-facing aspirations, once our business is mature, include local value adding through green pellet production, and thereafter assessing the potential for direct reduction in iron ore for regional electric arc furnaces. Gabon's near neighbour, Nigeria, with a population of approximately 210 million people, is one such market. Now, you've heard a lot about infrastructure today. I'm actually going to show you the infrastructure so you can see what it looks like. And if you'd like a copy of that video, reach out to Marnie. Look, I'm the last speaker in the Gabon panel, so with that thanks slide, what I'd like to just say is to thank all the delegates who've travelled from Gabon to join us at ADU. In total, there are 9 delegates, including the mission led by the Minister, from Minister Osinji, from the Minister of Mines, and our electricity partner, Société de Patrimoine. And for those of you in the hall, you can learn more about Gabon at booth 58 and 59. Thank you.